world. That's Mike.
That's Toya, and this is Tech Beats and Bytes. Don't worry, Toya, I got you. I'm just, I'm gonna have to be like DJ Envy. I'm just gonna have to do that part on my own. We just go. I got the hat, so Toya ain't got the hat. I'm just gonna be Tech Beats and Bytes intro because Toya ain't participating, right? She just be hesitant. So what's going on? What's going on?
Oh, that's all I got. That's all I got.
You ain't even got a statement.
It's been a long week and it's only Wednesday. That's all I could say.
I get it. I dig it. It's a lot to talk about. I mean,
yeah, how you be? Before you get into it, how you be?
But it ain't. I'm fucked up right now.
See, all around.
I'm confused. I'm mad at a lot of people. I'm really mad with Mark Zuckerberg, Charlemagne the God, Trina, the Orange Agent. So it's a lot of people to discuss, and then there's just people with basic ignorance that's been pissing me off too. So, how are you doing though?
Yeah, it's interesting. Look, I said that's all I got. No, but it's interesting the fact that the news is like, oh my God, there's a wealth gap. There's so many inequalities. And it's like, where y'all been? Duh. Like, what? Oh, it took a riot, quote unquote, for y'all to pay attention. That's what you mean. That just speaks to the ethos of America. America's love language is violence.
I don't get why everything seems new to them. I don't understand it. It's like, bro, we've been struggling. Like this ain't nothing new. We've been going through this, and I don't see why y'all just getting it. But I guess maybe if you do the news, you don't watch the news. What's going on, Simone? I guess they just talk about shit just to talk about shit. But I do want to get into something funny. I want to give a shout out to Don Lemon for snapping on every celebrity that ain't been doing right. Don went in.
Yeah,
Don just he was like, you know what? I don't care how y'all feel. Forget y'all feelings. I got something to say. And how you a celebrity with all this money and you ain't doing nothing. So I'm happy that Don just let some people have it. Guys, this is a show that's going to be partially therapy for some and therapeutic for others, and hopefully piss off some people. So if you have questions or comments, make sure you put them on the Tech Beats and Bytes page for our June 3rd. June 3rd. Is it June 3rd, Dante?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Damn. Just put it up. Just put it up for the June 3rd. Just say what you got to say. Ask your questions. We'll get you some responses. But let's go local first. We normally don't talk about local, but somebody has earned the honor to be our local conversation. Latoya, your girl Trina said,
not my girl.
You from Miami.
We went to high school together. That's what you're saying?
Exactly. Your girl Trina said, in my mind, y'all did, because she said, keep everybody off the street. Trina blasts George Floyd protesters on radio. So I'm going to tell you what she said. Now, I can understand looting and everything, but if I didn't say we was talking about Trina and I said this statement to you, tell me who do you think would have said it? Keep everybody off the street. These animals off the street. They're running around in Miami-Dade County acting like they escaped from a zoo.
Wow.
If I told you to give me a name of the person that made that statement, what name would you give me?
Just about anybody in like a red state.
So I was thinking Karen, Susan.
Oh, you mean those names?
Yes. I'm thinking
you definitely would not think that was coming from Trina. And the animals? Really? So
keep these animals off the street. They're running around in Miami-Dade County acting like they escaped from a zoo.
Wow. talk about completely missing the point. And also that just shows how people who observe the media and don't quite understand fully what's going on and the politics behind it, and not realizing that the protests have been infiltrated from both sides. And there's a lot of confusion going on. Don't conflate the protest and the demand for justice with people who are taking advantage of the opportunity that is happening right now to push their own agenda. She's completely just looping everybody into the same statement and calling people animals. Like, really?
Animals. So, one of my favorite poet and philosophical people, Pusha T, has stated, don't let money change you. When you say money can't change you, that's how we know money ain't you, right? And I understand money can change some people, but then it gets better.
Oh, she said some more?
Look, I told you we going local first because she made national ignorance. When the police get behind you and them red and blue lights come on, you are not supposed to be scared, said Trick Daddy. Ain't no nanny. And then Trina interjected and said, I'm never scared. I have my license and registration and insurance. I know my rights. Sandra Bland had her license and registration.
Philando Castile had his license and had the rights to carry. Like,
concealed weapons. So I'm trying to understand, does Trina not realize, don't nobody remember that she was on Trick Daddy's song back in 1999 and that she ain't gonna get no clout pass? She is not Beyonce. Ain't nobody gonna pull her over and realize who she is. You are still a black woman going on with it. So I just want to know who's still going to be listening to that radio show. If you're going to continue to support the Trick and Trina show, please put your name in the comments. Only due to the fact that I would love to be able to unfriend you gracefully. So just drop your name down, because there's certain things you just can and can't say. And honestly, it wouldn't matter. I'm not of that importance. I don't listen to the radio anyways. I listen to Spotify. Right. And
but so did they get some call-ins after saying that? Like, what was the response? Like, I know people did not just let them say that on the radio and was like, oh, okay. And or are they just looking for like sensationalism? Like, are they just trying to be controversial and say some shit to get a response for like ratings? Like, are you doing some Silk and Diamond type stuff where you just saying like random ass shit that you know ain't true just to sit there and get some attention?
So I was hoping you would ask me that. So the thing is, her anger appeared to stem from the fact of one of her friends whose businesses in Bayside Marketplace was destroyed in the midst of the protest. Then Trick bought up her friend's insurance, said, she got insurance. Her response then was, my friend got insurance, but she's also been locked down for 60 days, also like us, and she also don't have money like we do, like me, so I don't approve it. This is where she messed up. Money changes you. Don't have money like me, so I don't approve it. If you got money like that, why ain't you giving money to your friend so she all right through this whole situation?
Help her with her business.
You care enough to go against protesting, but you don't care enough to lend your friend some coin so she can make it through the situation. You's about stupid.
Man.
I can't even give you the you special. You stupid. This is when people be like, oh, we need to help my friend out. What you doing for your friend? Don't be calling me asking me for money. What have you done? Whatever you did for your friend, I'll match it. You know how much shit I ain't never had to do by making that statement?
Yeah.
Whatever you give, I'll match it.
And and it is sad to what happened to her friend's store, right? So not condoning that at all, right? You don't want to see a small business be affected by what's kind of happening. But on the other hand, again, understanding that those who are vandalizing and looting are most likely not the protesters, right? It's not the same agenda. But understand that oftentimes in a revolution, there will be casualties, right? If people are trying to push for something and they're getting met with violence, then that, you know what I mean? That's why I was saying, that's why I said America's love language is violence. Like, that seems to be the only thing that people can hear and pay attention to when they see it. Otherwise, we've been talking about this stuff for like years, right? This is nothing new. This is nothing new. But for some reason, because all 50 states have been protesting, oh, now y'all want to pay attention.
Look, my advice to Trina is just apologize. Don't do the stupid thing where you try to justify. Don't Donald Trump it. Don't try to, come back and double down on it. And you're right, Dante. It is too late because she should have considered that. I don't know. I was trying to give her some hope. I guess y'all ain't playing hope today.
No, if she didn't say anything on air, like a producer, then say something like, "Ooh, pull up," like.
No, not that.
Right. No. Cut the commercial.
That ain't it, sis. Stop her.
Right. You her mic. Nobody. What a producer's at.
So Dante has said that nobody gets a pass. So I don't know, good people of Tech Decent Bytes, the TB beers, how do you guys feel about it? Do we have to cancel Trina because of her statements? I mean, we ain't getting no more good music out of her, so we straight on that part. She might as well do a collaboration with My Neck, My Back. I think she's singing country and R&B now. So
listen, Kaya ain't with it. Kaya is not with it. Okay?
My bad, Kaya. We ain't even bring you into this. We have now the Black Agenda and the Black Caucus has now traded Trina for Kaya. Kaya can now come from St. Pete and Tampa, and she can now reside in Dade County. We are now trading Trina over to Tampa with the Confederate flag that's over there. Trina, you are free to go. We have released you from your duties. You're no longer the princess of Dade County in any way, shape, or form. We will give your position to somebody else. Please turn in your 305, your gold grills, and any 20 clutch Instagrams that you have. Please turn them in at the front desk on your way out. So, Joseph Patterson said he canceled her in 2004. Was that her last hit song, or was that the last time she was able to do a full twerk?
But what I was about to say, right? So there was a Miami version of Chirac, right? The whole movie where like women sort of stopped having sex with the men to kill violence. So you were in a movie that had like a political statement, and then you're gonna come out of your mouth and then say something when this is happening in real life. It just speaks to But anyway, that just crossed my mind.
Some people can't structure real life, and you're right, Janae. Kia is trash, but if Kia is trash, Trina is now hot dumpster juice.
Not dumpster juice.
the sticky one, the one that looked like embalming fluid.
Oh, that's nasty.
So since I'm on a roll and I'm gonna need therapy after, I'm gonna have to paint after this. I'm painting something. Let's talk about ass of the day, Charlemagne Leonard. Somebody needs to hear this.
We shuffling stuff around.
Because Charlemagne, first of all, I would not call you by whatever your little tag, because you are not a god. Let's just make this clear. Brother, you fucked up. You had Rush Limbaugh on there and he sunned you. That was pretty much a version of Ether. He LL Cool J'd you, and you was that rapper nobody else remembers no more. Dante, what was the rapper name that LL Cool J had the Ether? Bro, you trashed that whole situation. I mean, like, you are literally cannabis right now. You need to just give up the mic, drop 2 more seasons or whatever you're gonna do, and let Angela Yee ask the questions, because I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you on. I can't put it on North Carolina because I know people from North Carolina. And we just wouldn't do that. We just wouldn't do it. I hate to do this, but brother, let me explain something to you like the Matrix, and maybe this will understand it, because you always like to give other people analogies, but you never apply analogies to yourself. You are looking to get rid of a virus. If you're getting rid of a virus, you then have something that's called the firewall. you have to infiltrate the firewall to get to the motherboard where normally the virus is hosting itself and sitting. Donald Trump and the current administration is the motherboard. The virus is inside of there. But protecting this virus is Fox News, Rush Limbaugh, and these other things that we will call the firewalls. You had a conversation with the firewall and you couldn't say nothing about what the firewall needs to do to actually get rid of the virus. You failed us. You failed us because he kept asking you, what do you want? And I heard Envy in the background say, well, stop shooting us. Your response continued to be, and you said it 3 times, to dismantle the systematic systems that keep oppressing us. Brother, he is the system. What you should have said is for you to quit making the racist comments that you make on your TV show and show more support for Black people so that we can get through this, because you have the ear of your people that are actually oppressing us. You didn't say that. You talk all that tough talk when nobody's there. And the moment the man is on the phone with you, you became a corner gnome and just sat there and let him son you over and over and over again. The only people that had any courage in that room was Angela and DJ Envy. I just want to know, were you scared? Was you scared you was going to say something that you didn't mean? Was you scared you was going to say something that you couldn't back up? How do you have a white man that has been known to be affiliated with white supremacists? First of all, you shouldn't have had him on the air in the first place. But I understand you say you want to have difficult conversations. But why is your most difficult conversations when you're only critiquing other Black people? Now, you had a whole little thing where y'all went in on Oprah and other celebrities, but you seem to be falling in line with the same people, because I've seen you make more fun of Baby and Soulja Boy, which are just people in the music industry. But when it comes to something serious, all of a sudden you have respect for this racist white man that's on your show. I just want to know why. You are officially, I don't even know if you can do this on your show, but you should officially rerun your interview and do one of your little quick monologues the same way I'm kind of doing towards you, towards yourself, and go ahead and label yourself Donkey of the Day. And give yourself the award for the year, because nobody has fucked up an interview more than you did when you had Rush Limbaugh on there. Someone needs to hear this. So I don't know if you got a chance to catch the interview, Latoya. That was the most embarrassing thing I saw.
No, I haven't seen it yet. And I saw you post it yesterday, and I meant to watch it before the show because I knew we was going to talk about it, but I didn't get a chance to. But that was a good synopsis. Listen, I got the gist. I got the gist.
I mean, you go ham on people for the clothes they wear, the music they put out, but you get a political figure and
who has a long
history.
Too long.
Between sexual harassment and everything else, but that's the man you get on air and you decide to respect him. You better not ever have another Black person as Donkey of the Day until you put yourself there first.
But then you got to ask yourself why, right? So why did he take that sort of white glove approach with Rush Limbaugh?
Because he's scared.
What's the connection? What's the connection? Is there a connection? Like, what's behind the scenes? What's behind the curtain? What could be there that was like, ooh, you don't push them buttons?
Money and the massa approach. It's the one of those things where you are very comfortable critiquing your own, but when somebody just as powerful as you or more powerful, because even if I don't like Rush Limbaugh, you can't deny his power. You can't deny his reach. And it's one of those people he probably inspires to be, because think about it, they both do radio, they talk shit on radio, and they talk about people. So he probably aspires to be him in some way. But I bet you, I'm willing to bet my dollar that if you had Howard Stern interviewing Rush Limbaugh, that conversation wouldn't have went that way. I've heard Howard Stern take a stronger stance than you did. Howard Stern has told his stories about defending Black men, his Black friends, and growing up in the Black neighborhood. He just went, I mean, he might as well have been old boy from Django. Who's that nigga on that nag?
Not Samuel.
That's what he might as well.
The coon of all coons, not that one.
So all that happened was Charlamagne got Candyland yesterday. Candyland is the most beautiful place to be. You was on Candyland, Charlamagne, and your master was right there, and he told you, what you not gonna do is disrespect my guests while I'm here. So you go in there and you make sure them rooms is ready. I heard what you said, but who was that nigga on that nag? You just got son. Go ahead. I mean, when I tell you that irked my nerves,
Yeah. Yeah, but that goes to since you moved up your segment, let me move on mine.
Go ahead.
All skin folks ain't kin folks.
Oh, there we go.
Period. Like that's just real. And I think the example that we saw with the 2 college students in Atlanta who were assaulted by 6 officers, and 5 of them were Black. Like just out of control. And just seeing that makes you think about how Black people were sort of, you had someone who was like at a level right below the overseer to help keep Black people in line on the plantation. So there's that mentality, right? To where people will often go against their own people in order to perform a job or a role that they've been given to keep other people in line. All skin folks ain't kin folks. You gotta be careful, especially right now. And it just speaks back to the whole idea about the spook who sat by the door and all this other information, COINTELPRO, and just tons of stuff that we've seen in our past. Which is why on my Instagram feed, I posted up some books and just talking about how history is a great teacher, because everything that we're seeing right now is not new. We keep saying it is not new. It's just at a different time, and we happen to have technologies where we can broadcast and show it more. But it's not new, and we need to revert. We need to learn from the past, improve and elevate, and keep it moving forward. Watch who in your circle. That's all.
So I was going to talk about that, and I understand. I saw Keisha Lance Bottom. I know said I wanted to watch the press secretary, but I can't listen to her line there. So Keisha Lance Bottoms came on, and then I guess her son made a comment to her, and she kind of changed a little bit of her positioning, which was cool. But I ain't gonna lie to you, Toya. This is the thing that bothers me, because everybody was like, oh, and I even posted it, and I really want to go retract my post, because it was like, oh, 6 officers fired and already charged. I would expect 6 officers to be fired and already charged if 5 of the 6 officers are Black. That's not the problem we're dealing with. So you got to think 5 or 6 officers are Black. Out of those 5 or 6 officers that are Black, they attacked 2 Black people. And now they stun gunned them, broke the windows, pulled them out of the car. And they do all this stuff. And within 36, 48 hours, they're fired, arrested, and charged. A man murders an unarmed man for supposedly the use of a $20 fraudulent bill, murders him on a streaming platform, and he gets to go home. Mm-hmm. If you can't see the difference of where we as a people, and at this point, I'm comfortable to say it's not even Black people, because I've actually seen enough white people and people of other races. But if you can't see where we as a people see a bias, 5 out of 6 now. So that means we're looking at 85%. 85% of the officers of a crime are Black, committed to a Black person, get arrested and charged within 36 hours. 100% of the officers are non-Black, murder a Black man, and only 1 officer has been charged after a week. 10 days worth of time. Yeah, that's the problem we have in America. I've always told people, when we do business and we start talking about your budget, don't get emotional with me with your budget. I don't have emotions through numbers, but you got to be able to tell me the truth. So, breaking news, by the way. So for those that are watching us instead of watching the news, we appreciate you. All 4 former officers involved in George Floyd's killing now face charges. Senator Amy, I don't like saying her last name, has said. So all the officers are finally getting charged. Now think about that though. Look at the time frame. Granted, they're getting charged. It's great, but we still got a lot of work to do. So it's so bad when even a victory like that, my left brain is saying celebrate. My right brain has my fist balled up, and I still want to go punch something.
Right. Because, even with that still does not change the system. Right. That still does not talk about the underlying issues. That still does not address any of what people are out there actually fighting for. Because you also had an example, I think it was Tyrese posted on Instagram about was it in New York? 2 officers killed another young black man in the street, like behind some cars or something like that, and it was reported.
Yeah, beating them down or something like that, and thought they didn't get caught. Like,
so it's still continuing to happen. So the issue is still there, and until it's fixed, for real, you're gonna continue to see it.
So, I know you guys probably don't want to talk about this, but I want to talk about the devil that took a picture in front of the church.
Not El Diablo.
I now look back and think about every bad thing I said to my father and to my friends about George W. Bush, and I want to say that I'm sorry. Bush, I would happily have you back. You were not this bad. And ever since you shared a piece of bubble gum with Michelle Obama and you was laughing and joking with her, have you ever seen Trump that close to a black woman with a smile on his face?
On TV.
Barely.
That's what I'm saying, maybe.
Remember when the black people were there praying over him and he looked like, why are they touching me? Don't they know I'm the devil? I mean, this man used the military force to clear a way from the White House so that he could go hold the Bible like Adolf Hitler and take a picture and walk back into the White House just to prove they're trying to. I haven't been able to verify that it's tear gas, Dante. That's the only. They're saying it wasn't tear gas, but it was just some kind of deterrent smoke. Which I'm like, what kind of random smoke y'all putting out there? What y'all doing? Y'all doing smoke bombs like this the 4th of July when we little kids? Anyways, with that being said, as he's holding the picture, the Bible like Adolf Hitler, he did all of that just to take a photo to prove that he won't be scared because they had put his little punk ass in a bunker and they did the emergency operation because of the protests in front of the White House. He did all of that for a photo op. I'm trying to understand, if you're a Trump supporter, what are you supporting at this point? When does the amount of morale hit such a low point that you realize I can't do it no more? Like, after reading that list, I'm probably like, so I'm switching topics slightly, but I'm talking about the basis of morale. After reading the list of people that supported
him,
yeah, I might not go to Cracker Barrel as much. I never liked the name in the first place. Eating that Cracker Barrel always kind of bothered me in the first place. So, Ernisha, I need you to come up with a Cracker Barrel system. Y'all need to make something happen. I don't eat at Wendy's, but I remember working there. Like, there's certain places that if I know you're supporting a person like this, I don't have to be at your establishment. I don't have to, support you. I don't have to be a patron of your location. So if you are a Trump supporter and you have friends of color, if you have black friends, if you care about human morale, I want to know how at this point are you still a Trump supporter and I'm supposed to believe you actually care about the lives of others? That's where I'm stuck at.
Yeah. And you know whose name I found extremely interesting on that list was VaynerMedia. I was surprised to see Gary V's name on that list of supporters.
Oh, Mr. Asshole cuss you out to make you better at business? I'm not surprised at all.
I was kind of surprised.
Y'all want to get cussed out and learn how to be an entrepreneur? Sign up at the Art of Entrepreneurship at michaelhalltm.com. I never liked Gary Vee anyway. First of all, Gary Vee is a reflection of Donald Trump. Handed down money and handed down everything to become rich, and you talking about how hard it was for you to make it pop off. You know what, Toya? I'm going to say if my parents gave me a whole wine farm, I would have figured out how to sell wine and still remain rich.
Right. I mean, he was there all the time. Like, he was there the entire time.
Bro, I mean,
yeah, no.
When did you go broke? When y'all had to sell some of your collectible bottles? You still had a wine farm. It's not like y'all lost the wine farm and you had to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and rebuild and go buy back your wine farm because it had been repossessed or something. Like, you was always rich, boy. What's wrong with you? Little paymaster. Shout out to Amber. I just don't get people like that. I don't get it.
Yeah, but and especially with the way that he positions himself online as being sort of like the hip hop of like content and everything like that. It's like, oh, okay. And again, that's just how you just never truly know who you're dealing with. You never know.
Or do we always know and we just want to ignore it because we want to think the devil can't be that close to us?
No, that too. That too. That too.
So here in technology, there were some great things that happened in technology. Some of the cool things that happened in technology was if you were on, I want to do this in two ways. So maybe I'm going to do this part first, but I know some people have hit me up. We're going to talk about Blackout Tuesday. I know there were some mixed emotions about Blackout Tuesday. But with that being said, some of the cool things that happened from Blackout Tuesday was that Apple sent out their letter, which was put out by Tim Cook, a great, amazing letter. Tim Cook put out a letter. And on Apple, if you were using iTunes yesterday, if you were not in your personal library, any other button was shut down and we had to listen together. So you could only listen to the same music that everybody else was listening to. Lo and behold, when I went on, Lift Every Voice and Sing was on. I just felt like I was definitely back in church. That wasn't the vibe I needed because I had some work to be done. But I thought that was amazing. It had a message, and all you could do was listen together, which was very powerful. SoundCloud, which is one of the platforms we use for uploading our podcast, SoundCloud had scribbled out all of the text that was normally on your page. They had scribbled out everything for their blackout thing. So I've seen some tech companies that have made some major impact. Now, with that being said, now that I've gotten the graces to some people that made an impact, we have a new blackout challenge for tech companies. We would like for you to release the photos, group photos of your advisory board, your chairman, your board, and your top 15 executives. That is the blackout challenge we have for you.
You already know what they look like.
So within this blackout challenge of that, you would have failed the blackout challenge if you couldn't get to at least 45% black. So I don't know how good you guys will do at this point, but back to the moment at hand. A lot of people got mad, Toya, because it was like, why are y'all going silent? And people didn't follow the other thing. It wasn't about blacking out and going black and just posting that one black image. It was about posting positive content about it. Basically, what they was really trying to say, if you was twerking or taking selfies and stuff like that, today ain't the day.
Take a pause.
That's all they were saying. So why are messages so convoluted when we're trying to actually move things in a progressive way? Or do you feel it's just instigators that are trying to shut things down? Or do people just not want to take the time to understand what's going on?
It's a mixture of everything, right? Okay. Because on one hand, it's social media. So there's a bit of a telephone thing, right? It maybe starts with one organization kind of like leading it off, and then you just start seeing reshares. And you can't quite get back to the source to get the full information. So then people just start sharing, and then you're like, okay, wait, I'm seeing a lot of different things. So if you're not going to take the time to look into something before you start posting it, then you could be posting it wrong.
Right.
So like for us, right? So when I saw, so it just so happened that on Monday, we were planning to release information anyway on Tuesday about what you can do to sort of like educate yourself and how to heal and do some different things. We sent out like a guided meditation. We sent out information about different books and everything like that. I was about
to say, you sent out some amazing books. You had about 7 or 8 books that you sent out yesterday.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. And then and it just so happened, I woke up on Tuesday. I'm like, oh, wait, it's blackout. So it just so happened that the email that we sent out through Cosmology was perfect timing with blackout happening. But before I posted blackout, I was like, let me see what this is and what the message is. And if you don't take the time to just look, click a few times and see what you find out before you just start participating in something. Because then that's how you start doing it wrong. You have people who were doing Blackout Tuesday with Black Lives Matter, and you weren't supposed to because they wanted the hashtag to be separate. So Black Lives Matter continued to have more of the news content so you could stay up to date on what was going on. But again, people be so hot-bodied to just jump on something. So you had a lot of that. I think that led to a lot of the confusion about it. But to your point, it wasn't about taking a time out and just like blacking out for a day and shutting down and not participating. No, that's not what that was about at all. So for those who were kind of bashing the concept, it's because you did not understand it to begin with.
Say that part again.
Yeah, you didn't understand it to begin with. And
Say
it was
it one
also
more
for
time.
businesses. You did not understand it to begin with.
This is why I wanted you to say that again. Y'all need to shut the hell up when y'all don't understand something. There's so many of y'all out there. Let me tell you the problem. Y'all can actually take the time to choreograph a whole goddamn video for the, you know what that was, right? The Don't Rush channel. Y'all put together videos, y'all structured videos, y'all knew exactly where to drop the brush for a video. But when it comes to a political topic, y'all couldn't do that, huh?
Fast.
Y'all are lame. Look, man, I understand the addiction that y'all have for this little candy out there. The candy also known as likes, shares, and comments. But y'all got to stop. The whole point of blackout, you should be blacking out from now until Donald Trump gets out of office. The basis of that blackout would be to share information on voting. Share information of where the polls are at. Share information of the candidates that have your best interest. Tag the candidates that you think might have your best interest and ask them direct questions and see if they respond to those questions. See if your candidates are out there marching with you like Melba Pearson was out there doing yesterday in front of Kathy Rundle's office. Find out if the people you are supporting actually have your interest in hand. Don't just look for those little letters of "we stand with you in solidarity," but still 85 and 90% of our staff is white and we won't hire any black people to be executives. Don't keep falling for the antics and don't black out for one day. And, you know, I've literally seen people like, oh, but my Facebook aesthetics and my Instagram page won't look right. You ain't that important. And the people that are that important in their mind because of money, they're not supporting these efforts anyways. I mean, Kylie Jenner, I'm pretty sure that you have a biracial daughter with a black man. Where are you at?
I don't know.
Where you at? Because a lot of people are like, oh, but where's Jay? Where's Beyonce? You don't get to sit in your corner doing nothing to criticize those that have been doing more than you already. Everybody has their role. Jay has money. He has connections. He's making a different move what you're going to make by marching and actually voting in your neighborhood and showing up to your commission meetings and things. Like, everybody has their purpose and everything doesn't have to be collaborated together. We just have to have one common goal, which I'm going to assume is get Donald Trump out of office and end the divisiveness that we have in our administration. That should be a common goal. It's not that hard, people, but y'all had a whole challenge on a video changing y'all clothes to look cute, but y'all having a problem with a blackout challenge? Yeah. You see what I got on today? All black. I'm still in that mode. We are militant until we take care of this situation.
Yeah, no, people missed it. A lot of people missed it. And it was also to a pause for business, right? So to pause on just pushing ads out and pushing, to just like reflect for a second. Take a look at, and it was interesting to see the businesses that did send emails out, right? So you had those who were like, we're going to have a special session for Black female founders, or you know what I mean? And you just started to see a lot more of that. And today, countless people have opened up funds to help support Black-owned businesses. So there's a lot that has come out of it. And it's insane that this had to happen for this action to take place. Like, just imagine, had y'all been doing this shit before, we wouldn't necessarily be here.
Look,
like preventative care versus reactive care.
And we've talked about that so many times. Y'all don't have to wait till a tragedy before you do something positive. Do something positive because it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, all y'all stole somebody black screen or somebody image yesterday to reshare that. But how many times have you done that for a business? Because no matter what you say, as Pusha T said, if you say money can't change you, money ain't you. We still have a socio-economic problem. So while I still am trying to figure out why we decided that we weren't going to spend money on July 7th, make sure you go spend at least $100 with a black business on Juneteenth, but don't spend it nowhere else. See, there's also things you can do. You don't always have to stop something. You can enhance something, because They have this whole thing of Small Business Saturdays that was done with American Express and these other companies, and billions of dollars moved through those time frames. So on Juneteenth, just make a commitment. Maybe that order you was going to order on the 18th, just wait till the 19th. On Juneteenth, go support a Black business. And say you don't have nothing you need, find a Black business and say, I would like to donate $100 to you for your operation. Just to send them $100. We are not going to really shift these things because money moves people. That morale that you're talking about, that I was talking about earlier, is still based around money. And, like, if you want to know what to do on social media, if you guys really want to put Mark Zuckerberg in a bad position, every time you see an ad, don't click on it. Even if you want to do something with that ad, go and Google the ad and find the information, because he makes money off of impressions and click-throughs because he sells advertisement. If he ever found himself in a position to see a drop in the execution of his advertisement and it started hurting the value of his advertisement, he would lose money. But guess what? You wouldn't be hurting the company because you would still be looking for that company and going to buy the product. There's a way to everything. It's data. There's always ways to structure data. So if you really want to be mad at Mark Zuckerberg, every time you see a sponsored ad or something, don't click on it. Just be like, oh, you know what? Cosmology is selling brushes. She advertised here, but I'm going to go to Google and find her website and I'm going to buy direct. That means Latoya still gets the money, but Facebook doesn't get the credit for it. People coming to her page because of you. That's if you want to take a stance. Otherwise, you sound real stupid talking about combating Mark Zuckerberg when you're still using his platform to do so. I don't know how that part works. Are y'all going to go to Twitter and complain about Facebook? Because, Jack is on his shit, but y'all still using Facebook.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? So all of this requires sacrifice. How much are people willing to sacrifice?
Second to none.
Right. Can you get off Facebook? Can you shut down a little bit? Can you get into more community on the ground action? Go into those city hall meetings, go into your village councils if y'all have them, or go into your CRAs, and you got to put in the work. The civil rights movement did not happen from people sitting in their house watching TV.
So if you want to black out, tag your police station and put all Black images with the police station tag. Tag that Republican that you want out of office or that Democrat that's not supporting you and doing what you need. Tag them and black out. You got to know effective measures of how to do strategic marketing. This is nothing but exponential marketing, and this is nothing but door knocking and protesting in a digital format. It can be effective. If you affect people's bottom line, they will make adjustments. Because I'm telling you right now, 50 to 75% of those companies that sent something out in support of only did it so you wouldn't be pissed off, so that you would say, look at it, guys, they're supportive. But I can tell you right now, we've talked to those people in those boardrooms. We've talked to those people that run those companies. We talked to them about diversity and inclusion, and they're not fixing the problems y'all think they're fixing, whether you like it or not. So you got to really figure out what the hell y'all trying to accomplish, because I only want one thing. I want to take back the Senate, or I want a couple of things. I want to get Trump out of office. I want to take back the Senate, and I want to have a fix to the Bill of Rights for police officers so they do not have automatic immunity from killing people. There needs to be a change with that. And on top of that, all of their internal affairs dealing with a death needs to be handled by an outside counsel. It cannot be handled by their own internal investigations. You can't have the enemy overseeing what the enemy has done. And you got to understand that is changed by legislation. I believe from Dwight Bullitt, the number, Toya, is 6121. If you want to change the state, if you want to change that in the state of Florida, the number we're looking for is 6121. You need 61 in the House and 21 in the Senate if you want to change the Bill of Rights so that we can start ending what's happening to people with police brutality. Those are the kind of things you need to know. So if you want to do a campaign, if you guys want to do something, hashtag 6121. and teach people, educate people. Quit thinking that people know what politics is. Quit assuming people know how politics work. 6121 will fix the same things you guys are out there marching about. So identify your 61 senators, identify your 61 representatives, identify your 21 senators, and reach out to them and get them to commit to changing the Bill of Rights for police officers. That will make the change you want. It's okay to march, but when you come home and the marching stops, what's the next step? So we ain't even got nothing. I don't even know what to tell you about music. I heard that Kirk Franklin and the other verses, I heard the verses was great. I don't listen to gospel music. Just the only time I listen to gospel music is with my grandmother. So I heard it was amazing, and I'm sure our souls. Yeah. You said, "Oh yeah," so I'm assuming you didn't watch it.
No,
we is so secular. It's just sinful over here. But I heard
it's just too much going on. It's too much going on. I forgot all about verses that quick.
Oh, it was Kirk Franklin and Fred Hammond.
Oh,
I don't like that anyways, because when I was a little bit more chubby and I had my dreads, people used to tell me I looked like Fred Hammond. I ain't appreciate that.
I can see it.
Really, Toya? Not today. Not. So, some closing remarks for, I would say, for health and wellness of people. If you know you're not in a position, reach out and let your boss know that. Let your employer know that. Detach. We have to watch a lot of the news and we take in a lot of stuff so we can come back and tell you this guys in a much more sarcastic and fun way to try to alleviate some of the pain, but to still educate you and let you know what's going on. Our dear friend and close affiliate, I mean, he's pretty much a partner of Digital Grass, L. David Stewart. You know, his father is not doing good, and we're sending our prayers to him with his father. But you got to think, our brother is losing his father, dealing with a pandemic, and dealing with a riot, all at the same time. It's a lot, and he needed to take some time, and we're giving him that time, and I'm making sure every day I call him just to check in on him. My cousin lost his brother. So we lost our cousin. His brother died in the car at a motorcycle accident. So at the same time, got to worry about his son being a young black man as well as worrying about himself. So make sure you take care of yourself, guys. Like, we laugh and we joke, but I can tell you, we share a lot of anger and a lot of pain as soon as we get off these calls, and we try to detox and we just make sure each other is okay. And it takes a lot for us to do this every Wednesday. Well, we love it. We love what we do, but it's taken a lot out of us these last couple of weeks to get in front of this camera and try to deliver information to you all so that you can share the word with somebody else, or hopefully we clear some things up. So from our family to yours, we love you. We love you all. Stay strong. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. If you're protesting, please stay safe. If you're out in public, there's still a pandemic going around. Please stay safe. That's no matter how you do it. Stay safe and stay at home as much as possible right now. But Toya, I would like for you to close the people out today and give them some kind words, because they need to hear something from a black queen and not just from you.
Absolutely. I mean, you said a whole sermon right there, but no, but I mean, it was much needed, because at the end of the day, the level of self-care right now is so necessary, because we're going through a lot. We're seeing a lot. If you have the news, I mean, the news is everywhere. It's coming through your social media feed. It's on your TV. It's on your laptop. You get notifications. So understand that it is okay to like turn off for a little bit. Yesterday, 25 Black women in beauty had a conference call to just do some healing. And they had, it was a guided conversation, and women were just together and just sharing their experiences and just talking. And it was a cathartic conversation, because people were just expressing what they're feeling. There were some tears. And so we need those spaces. So if you are able to lead your own community, even if it's within your family, take the time to have those conversations and just let people purge. Let people purge. Have the tissues ready. Have a glass of wine ready if somebody need it. It's okay. But just understand that we are at a time right now where we just all need each other. We all need each other, and we have to be there for one another.
All right. Do your part. Right. I got the rest.
That's Mike.
And that's Toya. And this is Tech Beats and Bytes, guys. Peace.